everyone, my name is Emily and I'm from the channel Emily's Life on Wheels, as you can tell, obviously. And if you're new, thank you for joining my channel, and if you're not new, thank you for the continued support. Today, I have a video for you called the wheelchair tag, and this was created by Jem of Wheels Not Heels and Ben at Adapt to Perform. And I will link both of their channels down below because I think they're great. And I think it's really awesome to see other YouTubers in wheelchairs and other YouTubers just with disabilities in general on the space, because I think it's great for awareness and to show that you're not alone. So without much more blabbing, let's get on into the questions. And the first one says, why do you use a wheelchair? And I use a wheelchair because I have a disability called spastic diplegia cerebral palsy. And spastic diplegia cerebral palsy basically means I have had a brain injury when I was born, because I was born at 24 weeks premature, and basically the part of my brain that is affected is the part that controls my legs and my muscles. So my legs are very tight and they get very fatigued easily. So I use a wheelchair to get around in my daily life and to conserve energy throughout the day. And question number 2 is, are you a full-time wheelchair user? And the answer to that question is yes. I spend about 90% of my day in the wheelchair, just because it's easier for me to maneuver around my home and to maneuver around daily life. We are currently in quarantine right now, so we're not really going around many places, but when I go to places like the gym or shopping or going to see friends, I'm definitely in the wheelchair as well. And question number 3 is, what kind of wheelchair do you own? Well, I actually own a multiple of wheelchairs, but the 2 that I currently and mainly use are the Quickie Q7 model, which is the purple manual wheelchair that you guys have seen in multiple videos, and which I will pop a picture or a video up right here so you guys can see it. And the other one I use is a Permobil M3 power wheelchair. And I don't use the Permobil as often as I use the Quickie Q7, but both are great chairs, and I get use out of them both daily. And question number 5 is, what cushion do you use? And I have 2 different cushions because I actually had to look this up for the purpose of this video. And I don't remember the exact name of the cushions, but they are both from the Matrix line, and they are both gel cushions, and they are great. They help reduce the probability of pressure sores, and they help when you're just in the chair for multiple hours a day. You're not sitting on like something that's hard as a rock. I say that you're sitting on something more like a pillow. So that is what I like to refer to them as. And number 6 is, what is your dream wheelchair? Now, I have a few answers to this question. I don't really know how we can meld it all into one, but I would love a wheelchair that could somehow give me a lap, because I am 4 foot tall And I've never, not even in my power chair, been able to have a lap to where I can balance things on. So I would love to have a wheelchair to be able to have a lap. So that's dream number 1. And dream number 2 is I would love to have an attachment to the wheelchair to make it easier for me to walk my service dog in training. And dream number 3, as I get older and as my siblings get older and they may be starting to have children soon, I would love to have an attachment that I would be able to carry a car seat, because I would love to be a very active aunt in my siblings' children's lives, and I want to be able to help carry the baby as much as possible. So I know, a little weird, but that's what I want. And number 7 is favorite wheelchair skill that you have. Well, I often think that it's kind of funny that I can do donuts in my wheelchair and I can do wheelies in my wheelchair, but my favorite thing is definitely not a skill. It's more of just like a humorous thing that I've come up with, is that my wheelchair is as much as a car, because my power wheelchair was around $30,000 because it's customized, and my manual chair was around $15,000. So I like to joke with my friends who have cars and who drive, is that I have a car too, it just happens to be on 4 wheels and I sit in it about 90% of my day. So that's my favorite wheelchair skill. What skill do you wish you can do? Honestly, for my manual chair, I wish that I can stand up, because I can stand up with my cerebral palsy. I just need some assistance, but I wish that I could stand up and be able to push the chair while walking at the same time. I think that's a great skill to have if there was ever an emergency, or if I didn't have my walker or whatever, or someone to help me or whatever. I think that would be a great skill to have. Best thing about being in a wheelchair. Honestly, there's not one thing that I could say is a best thing, but probably just never having to worry about bringing your own seat to something. When I go to my friend's house, I never have to worry about, am I gonna fit comfortably on their couch, or am I gonna fit comfortably on their chair, or how is this gonna fit me? Definitely having my own customized seat is the best thing. And the next one that goes along with that is worst thing about being in a wheelchair. Definitely the lack of accessibility that there is in the world. A lot of restaurants are not handicap accessible. A lot of just concert venues, theaters, places like that are just not really accessible. And definitely just an overall lack of accessibility makes it very hard to be a full-time wheelchair user in the world. But the year is 2020, so I'm hoping that gets better, but definitely the accessibility issue. Dream wheelchair attachment. Definitely, like I said earlier, the one to help walk the dog, and the one to help with my lap, and the one to help carry a car seat or whatever. That's about all I can think of. Maybe snow tires, or something like that, because I don't have snow tires yet, so maybe we should invest in some snow tires. Weirdest thing somebody has said to you. Probably that I'm lucky to be able to sit down all day, because sitting down is actually really bad for you. So definitely that I get to sit down all day is one of the weirdest things that somebody said to me. Other than the hurtful comments that say, oh, like, you know, you can walk, or I can walk and you can, or you can't walk and I can, and blah, 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 blah. Like, those hurt too and are weird, but definitely that like, I could sit down and you know, they can't. Advice on buying a wheelchair. Definitely, I would say I've had a few issues with wheelchairs, and if you watch my other videos, then you can definitely know more about that. And if you want me to do a follow-up video to this and talking about my wheelchair issues, I definitely will. But my biggest advice is to follow your gut when you have people recommending stuff to you, because they may be able to recommend it to you on paper, and they may be able to recommend it to you because other people have tried it. But you know what works best for you, and you know what works best for you in your daily life. So definitely go with your gut. And then also the second piece of advice I have for that is definitely see if you can try to use like a trial service to see if you can try the chair before you buy it or get it through insurance, because again, and I know not a lot of places have that, so again, check with your professionals. But again, because going with your gut is important, see what works best for you in your daily life. That was a really fun tag, and I tag everyone I know, because literally everyone I know uses a wheelchair 90% of the time. So go do this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!